Steve, what happened last time?
Okay, so we visited the blacksmith. We bartered for some cold steel daggers. Um, Hang on a second. Yeah, bartered for some cold steel daggers, and then we made our way north to try to find. Um, I don't have his name written down. Our halfling friend, and instead of finding him, we found a mansion. Uh, And then, oh right, so we found a mansion, and then suddenly Halfling sticking his head out of the mansion door, saying, "Come here, come here." So after some humming and hawing, and then deciding that the giant that was coming around with a church bell on a rope was more dangerous than whatever this Halfling could be up to, we entered the mansion to find a Halfling and a goose named Mildred. Um, and it turns out the Halfling had stolen Mildred from the giant, and Mildred lays golden eggs, and the giant's a little upset about losing Mildred. So, finding ourselves in this strange mansion, we started making our way in, and we walked into a small armory, and we're perusing all the interesting weapons when three three ghostly figures came in. Um, let's see, we had a warrior, a pirate, and a wizard, and we had a standoff about the goose, and then we had the goose truce. And we were, I believe, making our way towards a ballista in an effort to slay the giant when we discovered a secret alchemy room through a picture. I believe that's where we left off because something was coming.
Bro, you nailed it. That's exactly it. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So. Oh, sorry, I made that louder. I'll do it on my end. So, yes, the giant. You just crossed this long hallway, this gallery of paned glass, and you saw that the pane of the glass was shaped in such a way that it was similar to a painting on the wall. You investigated the painting, were able to move it and reveal a secret compartment. And the giant is leering outside, mumbling something in some strange language that you don't understand. And you can hear something clanking and walking down the hall towards you. Um, but before that happens, uh, suddenly a another figure shows up. In the doorway with a two-handed sword drawn. It's a human with the telltale signs of an adventurer, with his backpacks and leathers and pouches and water skins and everything like that. Um, and there's someone else here. And he rounds the corner, and you see each other. Spencer, you see the following people. You see a what could best be described, in my opinion, as just a strange-looking man who is obviously not from the Evening Lands, from someplace far away. You also see a small man with a strange grin on his face and what looks like a chunk taken out of a part of his face in an old dirty hole that's there. And also someone who looks like they could be perhaps from Griffsvale, from nearby, a medium height man. And then what you would know clearly is a dwarf. You've not seen many dwarves lately. The dwarven people, Spencer, are usually much farther to the northeast. You haven't encountered them lately much in your travels. And it's an interesting thing because they are the ones who all the trade roads depend on at the foot of Black Spine Mountains. But many have disappeared in recent years. Before you can try to figure out each other and why you're here, respectively, I'll describe what you see in the room. When the rest of you, Bashaw, Tharnlin, and the others, when you entered this room, you saw a large table covered in alchemy equipment, vials, alembics, mortars, and pestles. It's clear to you this would be worth a lot of money if it could be taken and given to somebody that could use it. There's a black candle on the desk. A threadbare rug lays on the floor. A crumbling brickwork on the wall has been torn down and reveals a small hole on the east side, on the east wall. And you see a cabinet as well in the eastern wall alcove. And just as you see this figure turn the corner, this other human with a two-handed sword, your companion, if he could be called that, Helmet Halfsword, draws his blade in response, and he says, "Is that another brigand?" And Spencer, you see someone pointing another two-handed sword at you, ready to duel if need be. And what you thought maybe were the footsteps of this person, Bashaw and Tharnlin, are not. And you can hear something coming down the hallway. And Spencer, do you have a light lit?
Yeah, Spencer will have a torch lit, and he's holding it in his left hand, and he's got his giant two-handed sword kind of hefted over his other shoulder.
It's too far. You can see the giant stomping around outside through the window, at least his shadow cast as it becomes evening now and the sun sets. But you hear something dragging and stomping further down the hall to the west. What do you all do?
I will reply to the man inside, the half-sword man who spoke to me, and I'll tell him I am no brigand, but more attention will be drawn if you don't let me into this room, and I'll try to push my way in and close the portal behind me.
What about Bashaw and Tharnlin?
Shaw kind of grins and looks at Halfhelm and just kind of mutters, "Not everybody's a brigand."
All right.
Bow drawn, waiting for danger, hoping it passes us by.
Okay. Is the goal to try to hide?
I think so. I think that's best.
Okay.
The door to this room, I believe, Ross, you said it was kind of unique, right? Like it's a painting with glass that could be seen from the outside?
Well, what you saw when you rounded the corner was actually just a painting that was offset, and it's flushed with the floor. But it's clear to you now as you enter here that this is a sliding door. You can kind of slide it out of the way or slide it back into place.
Okay.
Do you guys so is the goal is to hide? Is that what you're trying to do? Okay.
Yeah, I think kind of barricade the door.
Okay. You could close it, and then you're also going to try to barricade it as well. Make a forced door check to use your strength.
Forced door.
We'll just see if it happens, if you can do it in time before making all that noise draws more attention.
I'm going to have to roll a 1.
Oof. You realize as you start to drag the largest piece of furniture, which is the cabinet, that you could do it, but it's going to take a lot of work and a ton of noise. And it's probably you're not going to get it there in time.
Shaw is weak as a kitten.
Not even if I'm helping? No?
You know what? I'll say both of you can, if everybody tries to help really quick, then all three of you can make a force door check, a d6.
Okay.
Spencer will leap to help. I'll roll as well.
Picturing it as like a slightly bigger wood chair than normal, and just Bishaw like.
Did anybody get a 1, or did it pass for them? No, it's not for Spencer. What about... No? Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just... This thing is... It's heavy, and it's obvious that it has things in it. And in fact, as you try to move it, you can hear heavy things in it sloshing. There's something in here that has liquid in it.
Liquid,
And-
yeah.
Yeah. And so you're not able to move it, but you hear something dragging and clanking outside nearby, and a moaning sound. Let's see if it hears you. Oh no.
Oof.
Yeah. And with that, this thing, you see skeletal claws pull back and enter where the where the door can slide, and it starts trying to pull the door.
Hold the door. Hold the door.
All right. Same thing. I'll just see if you all can overcome it. You could get a +1 if you have a strength bonus. Did that not roll?
Nothing from me. Or is it a D20?
Strength.
It's
I'll get a strength bonus,
whoever
so
gets
+1.
the best D6, and then you can add your strength modifier.
Okay.
So I'm just contesting
Okay,
it.
I'm going to ask a dumb question. How do you roll dice on this one app up here on the screen?
In the chat bubble tool at the top
Yep.
right, you type /R space 1d6.
Okay.
Or /R space 1d20, or whatever it is. Who am I? I'm so confused now. Oh. Well, either way, he got 1s both times. Okay. So you are able to bar the door, but it's relentless, and it continually, like as you guys are trying to push it. So you got, nice. 3d6, yeah, okay. You're able to hold the door back against this thing. You see a skeletal face on the other side just peeking through. And the hands, while you see part bone, you also see corroded black gauntlets and a large black helm. And this thing is trying to rip this door open as you guys are holding it back. What do you do? And you're in this room.
Is this room like a dead end that we're in? No other way out?
Well, I'll describe what you see again. You see a large table with alchemy equipment on it. Threadbare rug. The wall is crumbling on one end, with the brickwork open, revealing a small hole in the east wall. And there's the cabinet you tried to move, and that's what you see in this room.
Oh, I recall there was something we were going to check out under that rug. So Bishaw goes under the rug.
You look
Maybe there's a
underneath
trap
the
door.
rug.
Yeah, Bishaw will look. He's of no help for the door.
You see an alchemical circle, a design drawn underneath. in chalk.
Oh, that's not a secret door.
Graham.
What'd you say,
Oh,
Dave?
look, I found another problem.
Warding, right? It's warding.
Don't worry, it's blocked, but just so you can see what's going on there. At this, the helmeted figure, she says, and she's got like this black egg-like cone for a helmet, and it lights up right here, and it's like, if we wish to escape, it seems we either must open this hole, or we must stand and fight. And,
Love that picture.
it looks like it would be hard to open the hole. Like you would need some sort of explosive force. Let me see what she's got. She says, "Please stand back from the hole."
Michelle
And-
does that.
And she goes,
Do that even with a battle axe in my hand. So I was about ready to take a swipe, but okay, I'm going back.
6. Trying to see where, let's see. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so at that, Lisbeth, with the, who has one hand is a hook, and she's got that, like, I don't know, pirate type hat. She stands back. Edward gets back, and everyone crowds around in the corner while the rest of you are holding this door. And then Apocalypse Ann, she steps back, and then like she takes her staff, and heat and energy starts to build, and all of a sudden there is a huge force against the wall.
Oh.
And I think Tharnlin, you'll still need to save versus spell for a portion of the damage.
Dave, you're muted. We didn't catch any of that.
Yeah, I muted. Anyways, that was the saving throw you wanted to do, right?
Yeah. So you roll a d20
it's 8.
Oh, you got an. Does that overcome your?
What? So look at it. I'm sorry. Which effect under saving throws?
Save versus spells, staves, and rods.
Okay, it's I need to roll a 12 and under, correct?
12 and over.
D20.
Yeah,
and
d20
over.
to roll over. Yeah.
Here we go. Uh-oh.
Oh crap. Okay, let's see what.
nailed.
Let's see what got it. It's only a portion of it. You take 2 points of damage from the heat, as there's this blast, and you have this deafening, like you're ringing in your ears, and you can't hear or see, and your eyes are burned and watering and stuff.
And I'm swearing some dwarven 4-letter words. So there you go.
And but that being said, you can still see after this has occurred. There's this big hole now, and it actually goes down, kind of forward and down into another room, forward and down from where you are. What do you all do?
Spencer's gonna yell out that we can only hold the door so long. Everybody get the hell down there.
Frowns and off he goes.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me move you guys.
Probably not going first because I'm the one who just got blinded for a second.
I feel like it didn't bring everybody. Oh, I guess they're just clumped up.
Hey Ross, compared to last year, which app are you using right here? What was the app you used last year for showing the maps and everything?
Last year I used Roll20. This is Foundry VTT. It's digital
Foundry.
rights
Okay.
management free. Everything I create in it is mine. Everything is
see.
based on a local copy of it. Okay, so you guys, let me make sure I didn't get this way off here. Quick reveals kitchen. Okay, so sliding down, it actually is. You realize as you come out that you exit a brickwork, an oven, and it's clear to you right now that you're in a kitchen. And you just went down kind of a chimney that's used for the oven that's in the kitchen. You can see in here cupboards around all the walls, and ceramic plates and flagons and silverware, and there's a large table with wooden benches on each side, and the fireplace had a cauldron down at the bottom of it, which Apocalypse Ann kind of bumped, and then the cauldron loudly tumbled out, and then rolled out into the room as you went down. As soon as that happens and you're out into the kitchen, you can also see that on the northwest end, there's an open door. Two of them, in fact, and then on the north end, and two open doors on the southwest end. As this big cauldron tumbles out from the fireplace being knocked out by Apocalypse Ann, all of a sudden it like rolls back up onto its base, and then you can see that now there's like a bubbling thing of soup and stew that's in it that's hot. And the steam is pouring up from it. You can tell that whatever that was that you evaded is trying to make its way down this chimney as well. And you only have who knows how long.
Well, chap, should we smash that unholy thing as it drops down into here undefended, or do we run the heck out of here?
See you smash it.
Apocalypse Ann, she says, I can only do that a few times.
We just might need to do it once more in a second here. If our plan is to catch this guy as he drops down, Spencer's gonna take a step back from where we all landed, and he's gonna just have his cleaver ready to make a huge swing at that thing if it falls down.
Michelle will, draw his bow, notch an arrow.
Okay. Since you're all waiting to attack it, I'll say that you do get a surprise round. Because, I mean, I think it has kind of the disadvantage. But in time, in fact, and so Ben's going to do the same thing. He's going to prepare. I don't know what Ben has. I'm going to say he has a short bow. And Edward, I don't think he has a ranged weapon, so I'll say Edward's going to use his sword. And so his helmet. And
I'm using one of my hand axes to throw.
yeah, actually, I think that's what Ben has. And then Lisbeth, she's going to use a sling, and then you see Apocalypse Ann just back up and wait. And eventually this thing does in fact come down. And it crawls its way out, and we go into combat. So, it's everybody's intention to just try to attack this thing as soon as it crawls its way out of the chimney. I just want to make sure I understand. Okay. In that case, Tharnlin, you can roll a d6 for initiative.
You got the surprise round?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll use this for the next round anyways. Steve's like, there's a next round?
No.
All right. So, everybody can... everybody's already declared all their attacks, so I don't think the order matters. I think everybody can just roll. So I'm going to roll for Lisbeth. Nice. Nice.
Nice.
I already rolled the attack, but I'm gonna do that. Oh man, poor Edward.
Is there a way to target that guy or something? I know Foundry sometimes has things that works that
I
way.
think if you click on it, I think it does do that.
Okay.
And the AC is in there, so it should work. Hypothetically.
Okay. I already made a roll for that. Do I hit on AC 15?
Let's see. No.
Oof. Okay.
Okay, so Edward misses. Ben hits. Inflicts a maximum damage, so that's nice. Lisbeth hits. I thought I rolled her dice, but I'll do it again here.
Oh, would they get a sneak attack thing? Well, they have to be behind, eh?
The thief, right? Yeah, it has to be. I think so. I think it has to be. So, all right. So,
Are we
I've
rolling?
got
Are we rolling against descending AC or ascending in this case?
ascending?
Okay. Okay.
So. Oh no.
Seems pretty tough.
Yeah. So, it takes a few hits as you all try to just beat on this thing as it comes up, and you just see it rise up in its dark black armor anyways, seemingly completely unfazed from your attacks. And it is, let's see, so did everybody attack? Did anybody make a did anyone hit armor class 18? Okay. In that case, it's going to attack the nearest person, which is going to be it's going to be Spencer.
Spencer's got an armor class of 12.
Oh, nice. You rolled a 1, but still, anyways, that's a automatic failure of the 1. And then let me see. Let's see here. He gets 2 attacks. I don't know what those symbols mean. So with an 8 plus a 7, 15. He does 4 points of damage.
Yeah. 2 swings, or did I mishear that?
Yeah, he gets 2 attacks, yeah. And that makes it our initiative. And I believe, didn't you all win the initiative? I've already forgotten.
Yeah, we won.
Yeah, okay. So, that makes it your all's turn. Top of the round, what are your intentions? Spells, retreats, plans? What's the plan?
I think a retreat would be a really good idea.
Too tough for us. Gotta get out of here.
All right. So we're going to try to evade. That will
And,
result in you all not mapping as you run down the halls in terror. The first thing is to compare the movement speed, if I recall correctly. Does anyone have movement speed 30? Like, is anybody like real chunky and like with armor and stuff and not able to move fast in combat? Or like 10 feet or 20 feet?
No.
Okay, so everybody's able to move at least 30 feet in combat? Okay. Okay, in that case, you're able to evade.
Reading through the Barrel Maze book, they had one thing in there. OSR, another thing it means is, oh shoot, run.
Yeah, oh shoot, run, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Evasion and pursuit, 116.
Life was cheap in OSR, or rather the BX, basic expert. Life was cheap back then.
Okay, so great news. If you run and flee from combat, you can still map. So I'm going to give you your map back, as long as you're not actually in an evasion. That's how I'm reading it.
Yeah,
So,
I was using those rules just the other day, and they're extremely helpful.
you have a couple of options. You can either flee at your full movement speed, and you can pick a direction and just run. But if something attacks you, it gets a +2 bonus to hit and ignores shields. Or you can take half of your movement speed as you like just back away, as if it's kind of like a zombie, you know. But actually, you would
fighting withdrawal halfway.
But actually, come to think of it, I think that means that you would be. No, this would still be a retreat. Movement back, half encounter movement rate speed. So your encounter speed. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna say basically, pick a room. Which room do you go in? And then also,
I don't have light.
oh, do you want to use a light?
I remember from the other map, there was exit to the east, exit to the north, and northwest, I believe.
That's weird that it says, so you, Bashar, you don't have a light?
No.
That doesn't make any sense. It's showing that you do. I do not understand. So it's just dark for you?
It's not dark. I just see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like a 40. I could just see the pretty much the square. I'm gonna try resetting my
Yeah, because you should even see
Found.
outside of the room because of the I can change. It might also be your vision range. Maybe that's the problem. Does anybody else have that problem? That may have fixed it. Anyways, yeah, what room do you go in? Let's see if any of this would show up. You smell,
what do you guys think? Should we pick a room at random?
You smell something really good coming from this room. And for that matter, you let's see, I can tell you kind of what you smell and hear and stuff. You hear sliding and crunching coming from this room. And I think that's probably all you hear or smell from around you in the open doors. Yeah. Steve, are you able to
Northwest.
see?
No, it's acting funny. I can't see the chat box either.
That's weird.
Must be something weird on my end.
Tech issue. Huh. Which direction?
It's
did
similar
you
to
say?
mine. All I see is the room, 5 icons inside of it. I see the hex. It's a rectangular room, but I see no. Before you have the exits going east, into the north, into the northwest. I don't see the
Okay.
exits. I just see a rectangular room. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
you
that's
see
what you
the
see
same
also.
as I do then, yeah.
I think that may be the problem. Let me see here.
Yeah, all I got is a rectangle. That's
Let me start by
Looks
doing
like-
this.
5 high, 8 wide. There we go.
Oh, you were
That's
in
it.
the wrong
There
room.
it is.
That's what it was. Yeah, y'all just let me know. That's what it was, is the camera was over in the wrong room somewhere. Okay. So yeah, the the light pouring in is where the doors are open that you can see, and then you see windows outside. And meanwhile, something else happens. Yep. Meanwhile, you hear and the ground's shaking as you see a giant foot stomp out in front of the window next to you, and then you see a face leer in through the windows and one big eye, and you hear a wall, 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 and a giant mumbling voice.
I hate that.
And then it, he's swinging this thing, and it goes ding, ding, ding in this like sing-songy way, and the bell dings, and he swings and smashes the bell against the wall, but the house doesn't give. But the windows shatter, and the glass shatters in on you as he swings this thing. All right, what do you do now? Or go next, as it were. As you're also running
this
for
way.
this thing. That way, okay. I will move the non-player characters here. Also move Dave's because he went in the... Let's see. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to move yours. Okay.
Oh, this is the entrance.
You see here, you do see the familiar entrance, but Bashaw, you remember in the entrance that there was a taxidermied Frankenstein collection of different animals, remember?
Yep, that's
gone.
right in the middle of the room right now. That's definitely there.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Of course it is.
Yeah. The room here is carpeted, and there are tapestries hanging on the south and east walls of this room, and windows. You can hear the giant stomping outside and the room across, and you can hear that Death Knight like dragging its giant sword across the kitchen floor and coming towards you as you all run into this other room. Tapestries, a bunch of faded tapestries south and east wall, and they look like they were just woven yesterday. They're in perfect condition. They would be worth a tremendous amount of money each. And in the next room over, the taxidermied animal is gone. Yes. And and you can feel and see the light of the fireplace in the next room as the fireplace has come alive. Come to life.
I think we should close the doors behind us and then just kind of swing around and go the same direction that we had gone before. Go up past that room, because I think we were heading for that ballista. If we could just kind of do a loop-de-loop.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so
Yep.
You go back, you continue west. Is that the plan? Okay.
Are we doing for movement? Would it be combat movement right now?
I don't think I'm thinking about his movement rate and I'm comparing it to yours. And basically, so long as you're in this fighting withdrawal and staying alert, I don't think it matters. I don't think the math matters.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I'm more interested in what's going to happen as you enter this room. So you guys don't make it all the way over there, because instead something else happens. Bashar, roll a d6 for surprise.
Need a 1 to be surprised. Oh, that was tracking. My bad. Let me... not surprised.
I'm going to get rid of that light. It's too bright. You're not surprised. Okay. The taxidermied animal that was there was actually around the corner, and this thing starts shuffling towards you as it also begins to chase you.
You never trust anything dead in D&D.
You probably make it, if the plan is to continue your fighting retreat, I will say that you do make it right there. That's how far you would make it as a party. And we won't roll for initiative or anything.
Fair.
Or do you want to fight it?
Okay. Oh, OSR.
Okay.
Can I zoom in?
I'll drag everybody else here. Party
Let's
follows
fight.
you. And let's see, I'm going to roll for the giant. Nothing happens. Once again, you're in the weapons room. The weapons room has all racks of weapons. The floorboards with all of you in here creaks loudly as you all come in here. You also see a tall glass case with ancient dagger blades and corroded spear tips. Above it, a display of flails. There's another door to the west with the stairs that you saw before. And with the creaky wooden floors, you also have something else happened. Oh wow, we're getting close. It's hard for me to distinguish between the D14 and the D20, just glancing at it.
I
You mean a D12, right?
No, I mean my D14. It's hard. I just look at it and I'm like, but I need my D20. It's weird. I must have dropped
is there
it.
something? There's a D14 out there now? I think it was
Yeah.
a D12, D20 then. Really?
Yeah, they're funky dice. There's like a D16,
Well, I'm gonna roll it in chat, even if it's a secret.
D7.
It's a D30.
Yeah, D30.
D20,
D24.
D30 I've had many years, and D100. It's a 30, yeah. 30s are good. Critical hits.
Yeah.
Like
The
when you
unending
get-
I'm sorry, I was
D20.
thinking about a D16.
Okay, yeah.
Is it D16? All right.
Let's see. I got 3.
Was around 30 years ago.
Okay, everybody make a save versus
Shoot.
magic.
Magic,
Bottom
right?
Yeah. As all of a sudden, like you enter here, like everybody's like on these creaky floorboards, and all of a sudden the floorboards rise up in a wave. And it turns into a wave trying to throw you into the air as the floorboards come alive.
So it's a D20 versus my 12, I guess. Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
to roll over it. Yeah.
Well, I lost that one too.
Anything that you're overcoming, like jumping across a chasm or avoiding a poison dart, you're trying to overcome, so you roll over. Anything that you're trying to do, that like pick a lock or something, you roll low because you're trying to do the best you can at it or whatever. Okay. For anyone who didn't pass, I will also roll for just everybody here. The rest of none of them passed. So I'm just going to do 1 damage. Oh my god, it's max damage. Okay, so you're thrown up into the air by the floorboards as the floorboards turn into like a wave pool. And that creates these waves in the room. And it tosses you 10 feet up in the air and you fall to the floor. 6 points of damage as it tosses you around and knocks you around the room and stuff.
Again? Damage?
6 points.
Roll it. 6 points, okay. All right.
Okay. And let me see if anybody's dead on my end.
Oof.
Some of them might be, actually.
18 months. Okay.
Oh, no, never mind. They're pretty tough.
I'm
I
good.
was going to say, oh no, has the opposing party problem been solved?
Except for one. The halfling. The halfling is tossed up into the air, slammed up against the ceiling, and the bag flies against the wall. And you hear as the goose like hits the wall. It hurts the goose. The goose is still alive. You can see it like lolling its head out, having been hurt. And poor Dirk is dead. Dirk the Hobbit.
Oh.
Or another person may right at this point.
What's that?
He's dead.
Dirk the halfling is dead, yeah.
If Dirk is dead, I think our
Yeah.
interest in this goose is expired. I think we can set the goose loose.
At that, Apocalypse Ann, like fighting the waves, goes over to get the goose.
Shaw goes over to get Dirk and wishes them the best of luck.
We gotta keep moving through this room though. We're being chased by that owlbear
Yeah, we still gotta go, right? Yeah.
And the Death Knight.
Oof.
And the Giant.
Maybe.
So they can go that way, we'll go this way. and we'll split up, and then they can.
At that, Apocalypse Ann gets out of the room with the bag. Everyone else eventually claws their way out to the stairwell outside of the room, and she says, "I'm afraid that this changes the terms of our agreement." And she backs into this room. I'm going to see what that is and see if it matters. Page 19. Oh, okay. I see what's going on now. You can hear voices coming from in there, and she turns around and looks at them, and then she raises her staff at all of you to attack you.
Vishal just says, "We came for the halfling. The goose is yours."
Okay. Let me see. Nice. What's your charisma modifier?
No modifier.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, she looks around. She hears the voices. She looks at all of you, and Helmet looks like he's about to charge forward and fight. And he's like, "You rapscallion! How dare you betray us after all we've done?" And he looks like he's about to start things.
Vishal just kind of looks at him. "We came for the halfling. The goose is yours."
Okay. You leave them to fight.
Oh, no. I guess we won't abandon them. I'm just telling them, like, yeah, no, just... We're done with the goose thing, but we're not going to abandon these guys, I guess. Up to you guys. I don't think Vishal would be comfortable with just leaving these guys behind.
My character knows neither heads nor tails of any of them, so he's willing to just watch it out and see what happens between them.
All right.
What about like this whole time Spencer's for like looking left, looking right, like what is going on? What are you people?
This is over a goose
that lays golden eggs. You can see some documents poking out of the bag as well. So there was that. But Tharnlin, what do you think?
I go through them. Is it documents?
No. I mean, so Apocalypse Ann? She pauses for a moment, but then Helmet, Half-Sword, and Lisbeth Grund turn to confront her. Looks like they're about to fight her.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant us. Then I felt bad. It's like, no, we're not going to betray you. You're our friend.
Yeah,
you eccentric fellow.
She's okay. He's not concerned about you. He's concerned about Apocalypse Ann and her betrayal.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm just watching also right there.
So everybody's just going to kind of watch. All right.
Like, what the devil's going on here?
Well,
because there's no good guys here.
Interesting. They rush forward to attack her. And whoa. One of them hits. Oh, nice. Okay.
Oofta.
Oh, wow. And strikes her down, and she's crawling away from them now. And Helmet's standing over her like, "You betrayer! You witch! After everything that we've been through," and they're just going on like that, and you can hear voices muttering in the other room. Meanwhile, as you're watching, the owlbear is now in the next room, and you can see the Death Knight in the light in the corridor in the room across from that. And I'm to see. Oh, nothing else happens.
Shaw's gonna scoot.
Is there like a door? Yeah, the door right there. That has this room. I'm gonna try to bar this door, and maybe the owlbear and the Death Knight will come into conflict with one another instead of us.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Barricade the door, and then we can just kind of go around these guys like awkwardly.
You close the door, and you're going to try to barricade it. What are you going to use?
Probably just my body if there's nothing in here that looks appropriate, because it was this
Nobody
room.
has a hammer and iron spikes.
Oh, I actually do have iron spikes on me,
Well, there we go.
but I didn't bring a hammer. Does anyone else have a hammer?
I will make a deal with the devil with you if you don't have a hammer. If
I
nobody does.
had the hand axes. I could use the back end of the hand axes.
Right. So here's my deal with the
That'll work.
devil. You can only attempt this once, and then this will either succeed or fail. You can either make a strength attribute check, which is to roll a d20 under your strength score, with a hand axe or a weapon. If you fail, it will fail and the weapon will break. Or you can attempt a forced door check with your strength, which makes it less likely to succeed. You only have a 1 in 6 chance. Or, yeah.
Suppose I'll try to make the strength check then. Time is of the essence, it seems. So I'll bash it with the flat end of my cleaver.
All right. Success. You slam the back end of your two-handed weapon against getting a spike down, driving it into the floor, and you can hear commotion as these two things. I'm going to see what they do.
Fight.
They ally and team up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it's the opposite of good. He's got a owlbear mount.
Oh my god.
It would have worked. For one of them, but unfortunately, the other one is less intent on just killing you, and is more just a crazed, insane, crazy Frankenstein animal, and they do start to fight. So you've got this kaiju battle going on in the other room now that you've blocked the door. There are stairs right here, and these two are standing over the top of Apocalypse and scolding her for her betrayal and wayward ways.
So did they knock her down or something before she was able to cast with her? Okay.
Exactly.
Bashar just kind of looks at you guys with kind of like a raised eyebrow and just kind of nudges his head to like their direction, but like let's go.
So you're gonna try to run past them?
Yeah, I think if we just kind of casually go around them.
Oh. Okay, I see what you mean. Sorry, I'm not trying to move you or Tharlan.
It's like if you're in a place and there's this really awkward situation in front of the elevator, but you still need to go in the elevator, so you kind of do that thing where it's like not make eye contact.
It's like when the husband and wife are arguing off the elevator right there. That's what you do. Exactly the same thing.
Yep. Not here. Kind of not here.
In this room, as
people have done that between me and my wife, but anyways.
You see a room. It's a smoking room. It's got red wallpaper and red velvet curtains and precariously mounted delicate china plates in here. Everything in here smells like the thick coat of tobacco tar. And there are 4 tall armchairs and side tables and a glass case on the north wall, 6 vases. And I think that Spencer, you would recognize these. These are foreign finery. They are from the yellow city of Yunsun. There is a dark oak cabinet that's clearly a humidor with decanters of brandy. Although no one is. You don't see anyone in the chairs. You do hear voices talking even as these people are arguing. And one of them says like, "I say, did you hear about Lord Dunsey's quest for the hunt for the questing beast?" And then the other person's like, "I did hear such a thing. It's poppycock, really. It's a fool's errand." And they're talking about this like hunt for the questing beast, and while the others are arguing. That's what you see in here.
Those vases look expensive.
They look very expensive.
I'm gonna grab 2 of them and continue on our way.
All right.
Grabbing a bottle of brandy.
They're rather heavy. I will say that. Well, you're not with treasure yet, but it's close. They're probably worth at least 100 gold pieces each. And then for the brandy, you grab a decanter of brandy.
Hell yeah.
This is a very expensive brandy as well. You throw open the humidor and grab the brandy and go, and it's worth at least 20 gold pieces.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll grab
to
just one.
I forgot to mention, there are actually 3 decanters in here. 2 that are full and 1 that's empty.
Huh.
I'm going to try one of them. I'm going to sip one of them.
Which one do you pick?
Like what? 1, 2, or 3?
Mm-hmm.
3 on the right, I guess.
So there are 2 of them that are full of brandy and 1 that's empty.
Oh. Well, one of the full ones, of course.
Okay.
The second one.
It's probably worth 18 gold pieces now if you don't get your, I guess if you don't tell people you drink straight out of it. Yeah. But it is just amazing and smooth and stings and still potent.
I just thought of something. So if we're going this way and we're kind of hoping to round about our way, if there's not a back entrance, those windows are still shattered on the other end, so we can just get out through those. And hopefully the giant is super distracted by these guys fighting.
It's like a good plan to me.
Right. Okay, so you keep going past them into the next room. Let's see here. This... Oh, yeah. Keep misunderstanding this. There are 2 large sofas in this room. You can still see the windows on the west side of the room. A huge fireplace on the east wall that is blazing and hot and come to life. The fireplace is lit. There's a side table with a drawer and a 5-armed candelabra. And then, just as you enter the room, on the opposite side of the room, right here, Bashaw, you can roll for surprise.
Oh no!
What'd you get?
I got a 1. Well, these look like kind fellows.
Okay, so you are surprised, and let me see
What they got cooking?
Yellow shelves or chefetons? Skeletons? Oh, I don't know what to do with that. Skelechef. Going with Skelechef.
Two of them have chef's hats. One of them is dressed like a lady and is wearing a bonnet. And they enter the room, noticing you, kind of like, I would say Bashaw, because you probably bumped right into them because you were surprised. And yeah, you bumped right into them. And They bow to you, and what do you do?
Kind of awkwardly bows back.
One of them, the one with the bonnet, takes an interest in you, and even though it's a skeletal face, you see cobwebs and insects crawling in and out of it, and the dried viscera matter that has just dried and stuck to the person over time, and it just takes its skeletal hand and puts its hand on your shoulder and starts clacking its face as if it's talking to you.
Shaw's not quite sure what to do, so he just kind of smiles and, Ah, yes.
What's everybody else doing?
I guess Spencer will kind of shuffle up a little bit behind him and take a peek, and they're coming out with actually like these pots of like soup, right?
Two of them have chef's hats, and they have they're carrying candlesticks actually.
Candles, okay.
And
Candles.
then the other one is a lady in a dress with a bonnet, it's a skeleton, but with a lady's dress and a lady's bonnet, and she's like clacking to Bashaw.
Okay, I'll just stand and
Not really hostile
wait and
at this
see what's
moment, right?
happening.
Not really hostile in any way we can determine. They're just
Be very friendly.
They're just doing what I described. What do you...
Yeah.
This must be Lady Willowby.
At that, you actually hear a yell in the other room, and a metallic robotic voice is like, I knew it would end. And then eventually, these two people come in the room, and they're carrying the goose and the bag.
Shaw's just kind of not at all sure what to do in this situation. This is beyond him. These aren't giant snakes. These aren't dark wizards. He's out of his element.
The skull just keeps clacking, and then it stops, and then opens, and then clacks real fast like it's laughing, and it rears its skull head back, as if you told a good joke.
Right, Bashaw just kind of puts his hand on her hand, does a little pat, and kind of does a little bow, and then gestures that just gotta go, and bows again, and it kind of does that kind of bows as he just tries to get out of there.
Helmet, having entered the room, he says, "Pardon me," and he bows to the skeleton with the bonnet, and then he says, "The giant still sieges the manor. I propose we work together. And I still have my honor. The goose truce stands."
Yeah, we gotta help. Well, Bashaw has to help. You're your own men.
Help with what?
The goose truce stands. You can't in good conscience just abandon them.
Oh, he wants to leave. I'm sorry, to be clear. It's just
Okay.
It's just a let's get out of here together, and then we'll figure out what to do with the goose.
Perfect. Shaw goes, yes, the goose truce. The goose is yours. Make no mistake, it's yours. Let's go.
Oh, very well. And at that, you hear stomping coming from the opposite side of the manor.
Let's hide.
Not the mountain stopping. I mean, not like the giant stopping. No.
Yeah, it's distant. It's on the other side of the
okay.
manor. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And as you guys are talking to each other, the servants come into the room and they start setting up candlesticks and trying to find something to light them with. And the one with the bonnet comes in and acts like she's talking to them.
Yeah, let's. So would he be coming like the long way around, or is coming the shorter way towards us?
You hear the stomping on the opposite side of the building outside coming from the northeast.
Okay, yeah. So if we just kind of scurry quickly, we can probably get out of here without him noticing us. He said, hopefully.
Let's see. And then you hear ding, 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 well, as the stomping is going on. And the stomping moves kind of in the easterly direction, kind of to the east, across from the manor. But then, all of a sudden, the lights that these the candle lights that they're striking, they go out, and the skeletons look at each other, and then you hear Helmet say, "Oh dear," and he's looking down. He's put his sword down, and his hands are disappearing, and he's dematerializing. And the whole place is filling with light. And he's like, "Oh, I see now." And he turns to Lisbeth. And Lisbeth, she's like, we were dead." And Helmet's like, "Yes, I suppose that's it. Well, we have no need of Mildred. It seems that you now have to take care of her." And then Bashar, despite emphasizing that he has no interest in the goose from the beginning, Helmet comes over and hands you the bag with Mildred. Mildred just like sleepily, having been slammed against the wall by the wave pool thing, is like, she's not doing really well. And you can see there's a bunch of documents in the bag as well. And they start to dematerialize and the whole place fills with light. And then all of a sudden there's like this blinding light. And you hear this mumbling, like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa," coming from outside. And then you hear the stomping like rapidly increase. And then get more and more distant as like the whole place just fills with light, and you just see nothing but just light, just as bright as it can be. And eventually, it all fades, and you're left in a clearing. You can see the huge footprints where Tom has run off from what probably appeared to be an explosion. As you look around in this hillside, and there's only the appearance of old chimneys and stoneworks that have crumbled across centuries.
Bashar kind of looks down at Mildred, looks at the other two, shrugs, and starts walking back to the halfling. Introduces himself to Simon, or Simeon.
Spencer?
Spencer, yeah, sorry.
Spencer, what do you do?
Shakes the hands of these fellows he's just met. Kind of shakes his head, not knowing exactly what just occurred, but he feels as though his short quest was successful.
Bashaw says, my friend, I would love to fill you in on what was going on, but I had no idea. Now I have this goose. Follow
Perhaps
us
all of
for a
that was
drink.
the best.
Probably for the best.
So it's now nighttime. You could attempt to set up a camp, or you can try to make it back to Brandonsford or explore further. What do you want to do?
First thing Spencer's doing is he's checking to see if he still has that bottle of brandy or whether that disappeared too.
Yeah, you have it. Yeah, 20 gold piece, very expensive brandy. And Bashaw, you have the two vases, 200 gold pieces worth, if you can find a buyer for these things.
What do you think? Do we set up camp or do we head back?
Set up camp.
All right.
Camp.
If it's defendable where we're at, we're fine.
It's like the best possible ending. That is gold.
What I'm gonna do, I think it's reasonable that you could do that, but I will make this roll because you are just kind of out in the open. So see what happens here.
We'll set it up in a defensible spot.
As you leave the hillside, because that's not defensible, make it back to a wood line and try to find some place where you can set up a watch. There are several of you now. There's 5 of you, and you go back to the woods. You see something that you saw. I can't remember off the top of my head where you saw it, but you see this again. You see a line of felled trees, huge reptilian feet, and acid burns that coat the edge of trees. That
would be right by the witch's place.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, you saw that as you went to the witch's place. You see that again, this swath of destruction in a line through the woods.
Does it look fresh?
Hard to tell. You could make I think that you could make a tracking check to see. I think that's a cool rangery thing you could do. You'd use your woods version of it.
26.
It passes. It is fresh, but you're also able to tell that it moved rapidly out of the area to the north. So, it went that way. It's not here now. But you're able to set up camp. Does everyone have food and water?
I do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, got rations on me.
On the back side of that, I'll do that again, but I'll roll for it this time. And nothing happens. And so you start the next day, the 20th of reaping. What do you do now?
Yes, head back to the village. Solemnly bring the body of fallen comrade.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Which direction do you follow? The stream, or do you head into the woods?
Probably safest to follow the stream.
Okay.
I had bad luck with both, so it's...
The woods become dense again as you leave the tree line near the hillside where you see this path of destruction from some sort of creature. And then it starts to clear up again as you get close to the sound of moving water. Also... And dropped my d20, so I have to use this one. It's a fairly nice day outside. The air is still, the current has slowed down. It's dried out some. And, yeah, nothing happens. I'll just start heading you along the stream, if that's the goal.
Oh, Ross, I don't have a... It says I don't have a token that can see on this map.
Oh, I can fix that. I can fix this. I can fix this. How about now?
Nothing seems to have changed. Let me refresh browser,
Hold on
I
just a second.
guess.
What about that?
Crap, I already hit the refresh button.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay,
Well-
I can see now. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. You make it back to the north gate of Brandonsford, and hobbits are not paying attention on the northern walls, the two bounders. And you would find it no problem at all to just stroll up to the gate and try to make your way in. This place is not well defended.
Stroll right past them.
Okay. They barely even pay attention until they see you there, and they're like, "Oh, hold on just a second there. Are you wearing your bounder sash?"
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're those big people that Eric hired. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. And they see the dead body of a
Except for
hobbit.
the dwarf.
Huh? Yeah, and a dwarf. Yeah, and another human, but they don't know. These two hobbits, they don't know. But they see that you have a dead hobbit, that you're carrying, and a sack, and a goose like lazily lolls out of it and is like, "Arr!" And they're like,
The
"Oh, go ahead."
the Hobbit Dirk, the good Hobbit Dirk, has fallen seeking something to aid the town, and we've returned with him and his prize. We need to see Eric.
I think you ought to see Eric, sir. Oh, Dirk. And they take their bounders hats off, and they come up to you and they look up to you and then they bow, and then they walk with you into the town hall, and there are the hushed whispers and pointings of hobbits that are whispering as you pass, and then you approach the town hall and you enter with two bounders. Eric sees you, and he immediately is like, "I need everyone to leave, please. This is important bounder business. It's for the security of Brandonsford. Please, I need you to leave." And there's just some random hobbits in here, and even a hobbit family and everything. And they leave, and there's just the two bounders and then a bounder that's already in here. What's his name? Scoots. Hartmut's in here, and Eric he takes off. He doesn't. The other bounders, they take off their hat when they see his body, and Eric comes up to you and he's like, "What happened?"
It is very difficult to explain. Dirk had discovered something to help the town in its troubles, but it cost him dearly, and we've returned with him and his prize.
What do you show him? I mean, when you say the prize, he asks. He says, "What
the
do you
goose
mean?"
down. I put Mildred down, and I say, "This is Mildred," but before you get more confused, reaches into the bag and pulls out a golden egg.
All the bounders gasp, and Eric's like, "Gold! Oh no! No! Oh dear!
The
Oh,
dwarves.
there are no dwarves here. Well, excluding present company,
There's
sir."
one.
And he like, he flourishes towards you, Tharnlin, and he says, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but we can't have gold floating around here. But why in the world would he have went and got a bunch of gold anyways?
Well, from what I understand, he was very hungry and found a giant's house, and then went in to get some food, and then saw the goose, went to investigate the goose, discovered that this goose lays golden eggs, and helped himself to the goose, and got chased down by a giant where we crossed paths, and the rest is far more confusing than everything I just said.
I
But he certainly
suppose,
has the tents.
I suppose old William must have sent him up there then. I didn't intend for that at all. That's a terrible idea. I don't understand him getting hungry, though. I'm kind of hungry myself. And he fans himself, and he's like, poor Dirk. And he puts his hand on Dirk's head. Well, we'll need to tell William. And there's another thing. Take this goose and these golden eggs and don't let anyone see them. Take it over to the old Brandon house. Keep her in there and feed her, take care of her in there. Don't let anyone see this gold. And another thing, don't tell anyone about Dirk.
Well, I'm reluctant to do the first part. Second part, I think it's too late.
The wild goose, like in your house, he's like, well, either let this goose. And what are you doing here, sirs? And because he's never seen Tharnlin or Spencer before.
Came here on the request of Lords Hilburn. Not quite sure how I ended up here myself, but here I am.
You came from Griffsville, from the big people.
Yeah, big city, big people. It came quite a way to get here.
Well, but we're honored, and he bows, because the hobbits think that you always bow to humans. And he's like, why would you come here? What interest would Griff's Bluff have in Brandonsford, in the Shire?
There's been a distinct lack of trade and communication in these parts, and it is up to me to figure out and solve these issues. I've been promised a bottle of promised a bottle of ale. I can figure out what things are and then make it back. Hobbit like you would understand that, right?
Oh, ale does sound nice right now. And then he shakes his head and comes to, and he's like, oh, but I know what you mean about the loss of trade. Brandonsford has been suffering terribly. We haven't received metal from the dwarves. Our farms are failing. We don't get new tools. We depended on the trade that we had from the dwarves that came through this area. And where are you from, sir? And he says that to Tarnlin.
Came from over the mountain. I can't remember the name of the town that we wrote it in.
Carnbuldar.
Carnbuldar. I came from Carnbuldar, but was here to accompany Dirk on his journey back to his home to honor him.
You traveled some nearly 200 miles.
30 leagues.
Across
whatever 30 leagues is.
Across the Black Spine Mountains, all the way to here. Well, then you must have seen it. What's happened? Why aren't the dwarven settlements coming to trade with us?
We thought that your people did not want to trade with us. That's what we understood.
Brandonsford's always depended on trade with the dwarves. Well, okay. We need to do something with Dirk. I think we'll need to bring him to William, and you're saying that everyone saw this on the way in.
I believe they did.
Well, there's going to be a panic. I'm panicking. I think that I'll need to deal with this. I'll probably need to resign. The order, the matronly order of good manners, is going to kill me, or make me want to be killed at least. And I think you should bring Dirk to William.
Well, we will bring him to William, but slow down on the rest. This was fairly unrelated to the other issues. This was an accident, more or less, that happened to him.
Oh, Dirk had an accident. Oh, that's what I'll tell them.
Yes,
Oh,
it was an
yes.
accident.
Oh, it's an accident. Yes.
He's like, oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Shaw's just kind of like, uh-huh.
He's a bureaucrat
All right.
and like a government official, and he's like, oh, good, something to blame it on. Yeah.
What a little guy. All right. He's a good hobbit, this one. Oh.
A good hobbit, yes. Well, and I look forward to hearing about the rest of your investigation. And he some of the bounders have come over. Keep forgetting the dude's name. Hartmut scoots up, startles Eric the Reeve, and he's like, and Hartmut he's like. He says, Dirk was a good hobbit. And Eric's like, yes, Dirk, he was a good hobbit. And everyone just kind of looks at Dirk mournfully.
Yes, continue off to Williams.
Okay. You make it through town carrying the body of Dirk and the goose. With the goose and the vases, I'll say you're with treasure, by the way.
Go drop. Maybe we drop off Mildred and the vases.
Oh man, that sounds like a disaster. You leave the vases. I don't even know what you do in that situation. You could leave the vases that are inside with an angry goose, or you could leave them outside. I mean, you've already determined the thieves aren't actually thieves, so I don't know what to do. What do you think?
I don't know that there's like a right scenario here.
How do you deal with an angry, ornery goose? That is the question.
Maybe we should bring the goose to what was it? A second. Maybe we should bring him to Vivian. That seems like a Vivian thing.
You're going to travel out to Vivian. Okay, so you drop the vases off and keep the goose?
Maybe Ingrid. Ingrid's closer. Maybe we'll bring it to Ingrid, drop off the vases, bring the goose to Ingrid. Say we'll explain later, hide the hobbit.
Meanwhile, okay, so you've got a dwarf, so Tharnlin, you came here to find out basically the same thing Spencer did, like where the dwarves going, and basically they've said the same thing. They've said, yeah, we don't know. They've not been showing up, and the trade stopped. And then meanwhile, Spencer, you've come out here to figure out what's disrupting trade, and the hobbits have been like, yeah, the trade's disrupted. Something is destroying it. What else do you all do? I mean, like with everything that's going on, what do you do with that?
I guess Bashaw has some explaining to do, but he's just so I'm used to being that person.
I suppose Spencer will, in the time that we're here, he'll kind of spend some time schmoozing up with the other inhabitants of Brandonsford. See if they mention anything having like occurred very shortly before all the bad fates had begun befalling the region.
All right, I have to bring that up. Oh boy, let me introduce you to some hobbits. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. You see hobbits. Are you saying you're splitting up? Like Bashar is going to go put the stuff down? I would say like Bashar, are you gonna like? Is there anything you want to tell them? You've got like two other big people. Is there anything that you want to share and then go? And are you guys splitting up, or do you want to do this together, or how do we want to do that?
I suppose Bashar should probably explain. He kind of stands there awkwardly and just goes, "So, there's a dragon.
Dragon?
And it's cut off the mountains." And it just kind of keeps like trying to think of how to phrase things in a reasonable way. We need to find a wine and a magic sword to kill the dragon and then travel back to a different place we came from.
Dragon.
Large dragon. You saw the trees that were destroyed?
I recall.
That dragon. Seems to breathe acid.
Are the inhabitants of this place aware of this?
Willingly, well, yes, but willingly no. There's an air of blissfully forced ignorance.
I see. Because definitely, it's almost surprising that they didn't bring it up to us when we came back again. A dragon being around and being on guard and on the walls and such. They're taking their situation pretty lightly almost.
Our friend Nob has theories that he's not entirely filling us in on everything. Dirk here, so he just kind of like shakes the like Dirk here. Yeah, he was the business partner. No, Shaw doesn't know the word for this. An assistant to his master. Nob will be able to explain. Although he doesn't understand what's going on either.
And
Shaw wishes his other friends were here to explain.
Oh, yeah.
They have good words.
I'm
really trying to explain in character, but Shaw is just such like a terrible people person.
Yeah. He is such a man of not many words. Yeah. Spencer, you can totally still talk to hobbits, and there's plenty of them on the way. As you look around, you notice that the hobbits here are kind of packing things up and moving things as if an event occurred here. And there's a lot of grumbling and fussing and kind of frowny faces. People seem upset. And it looks like they're taking some event down. That's kind of what you see them doing. You see hobbit families as they're kind of taking you to this. I forgot to mention, I kind of take this for granted because these guys have been here for like a month of gameplay. All the hobbit houses come up to about right here. The Shire has full of these daub above ground hobbit houses, but there's one stone building that looks like a chapel with stained glass windows. And Spencer, you would be familiar with some of the lore of this place, at least vaguely, because you, being from Griff's Bluff, your peoples worship the thrice blessed Allfather. And Saint Brandon is kind of a hero saint of your religion. And you know that the town here, Brandonsford, is named after him. And there's this old abandoned chapel with stained glass windows. And you see that that's what Bashaw puts the vases into, and then closes the door as he's explaining this.
Okay. Is that kind of like where we also are kind of like sleeping? Everybody's sleeping, resting when we're at this town?
They have been sleeping.
And something that comes to mind. This is kind of like the church. Is it like well taken care of? Are there things inside? Like if this is a church to Saint Brandon. Usually I think, at least in real life, I think like there's usually like something about the saint at their church. Sometimes I think it's a grave, like the bones of a saint.
Yeah, a relic. Yeah, no, no, it's just stone and dirt floor that has kind of like fallen in on the inside and kind of melded together. Kind of where you see stone floors where they've sunken, and so it's like stone in places and dirt in others. And there's just vine and stuff that's grown up over it everywhere. It's been untended for a very long time, and there's no furnishings on the inside.
Spencer's pretty unhappy with that. I imagine Spencer's being a very lawful and very
it does look
very
like
spiritually minded guy.
Well, where you come from, most people are like it's just you just wouldn't do that, and it is kind of look like the hobbits just like almost desecrated this shrine and just completely disrespect it. Griff's Bluff is the name of the town, and it's a fairly religious place.
It's an amazing bit of lore about hobbits in this world. See, in this world of gods, magic, and interesting creatures, they're atheists. They don't even believe in any of this. They're like, dragons. Yeah, dragons don't exist. There's a dragon, like, eating you right now. Nah, never heard of it.
Anyways, you do see some hobbits. They're occupied. You've got a hobbit family. There are 2 hobbit men that are intent on doing nothing as they watch everyone else work on the side of the road. And then you see a bossy-looking hobbit woman who's busily fussing and bossing a group of other hobbits as they take down a vending stall, like a wooden vending stall.
Spencer is not having very...
Who? What? What'd you say?
I said she's obviously the one in charge right there.
She does seem to be the only hobbit in this whole town doing anything.
I'm gonna say
Spencer does not. Now that I know all of this, the more I'm learning, the more I'm imagining Spencer doesn't have a very good opinion of the hobbits.
She didn't hear you, thankfully. But yeah, do you want to ask any of these hobbits anything?
I don't know. I think actually I've gotten better information from my fellow party members than we can possibly get from any of these hobbits at this point. So I don't think I have anything immediately to ask any of them.
Okay. Tharnlin, is there anything that you want to do before you guys head to Williams, the Matham house?
Not particularly. I was going to talk to the woman bossing people around, but that was just out of humor.
You want to talk to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you in charge here?
Oh, okay. As you approach, there's a.
I'm trying to boost her ego up too at the same time to find out what's going on.
Oh, let me. Oh dear, what's your charisma modifier?
Oh no, it's not good.
Okay.
I looked at it. Whatever you rolled for me, that was an average of 10.
You see
Just a
a woman with curly hair, middle-aged hobbit woman in a dress, and you approach her. She does look like she's in charge of something, and she there are people. She says, basically, she's scolding one of them, one of the younger hobbit women that, you know, her great uncle had just recently passed, and if he could only just see what she was doing now, and I don't ever want to hear that she's gone to that play again. Those people are not proper hobbits, and it's not how hobbits should properly behave, and all this kind of. This is what she's saying when you approach, and she sees you, and it's like a heat-seeking missile just like turns and just like bores down on you, and this hobbit just scurries up to you, and she's like, another outsider. What are you? And you don't even have a bounder's sash. What? I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Rortrude Wonderfoot, and I am the lady of the Matronly Order of Proper Manners. And welcome, of course, to our shire. But you don't look like a tradesman. Do you have the proper certification and paperwork to be here?
Seem to have misplaced that. We have taken one of your people, one of your hobbits from this area. Halflings. I'm sorry, halflings.
We say hobbits.
D&D, it's halflings. Okay, hobbits.
I like to stick
Trademark.
it to D&D anyway. Yeah, I don't have trademarks.
Yeah.
And they have no.
Dirk.
Those words have no power here.
We have moved Dirk, who has fallen in his quest. We wanted to see who really was it. The only person I see around there who has any productivity here is you.
Quest? Oh. And she like holds her heart. A quest? Oh. And you say that and Dirk has passed away.
As true as the sun shines right now.
A good hobbit. A foolish hobbit, but a good hobbit. Oh dear. Oh, a quest. I knew, and now there are more of you. And she looks over and she sees Spencer, and she says, and there are more big people. And she yells over and she sees Spencer. And I don't see a bounder's sash. I just know there's no proper certification or paperwork that's been done on this. I will be speaking to Eric about this in short order, and we'll be setting this right. You don't just simply come into Brandonsford and not properly register at the town hall. And she just keeps going.
Spencer's eyebrows have shot very far up into the air.
Bradford. Who's Brad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like a little borough around here that's got more prominence than the others have at the town hall?
Are you asking where the town hall is?
Yeah, I suppose so.
That's the first place you came to on the way in, and Eric was the Shire Reeve that you spoke to.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
I mean, if this little woman is like on our ankles biting at us, I guess we ought to go get certified.
So the whole ordeal with Dirk and all that wasn't the nail in Eric's coffin. It was actually forgetting to do due diligence in his paperwork.
Yes.
Dead man.
Do you go back to the town hall to talk to Eric?
Sure thing. If what this woman is asking of us would raise our standing in the settlement, right?
She accepts that you're gonna go and rectify this matter at once, and turns back to start bossing and fussing other people, and she says, "A quest? Can you believe it? Oh, and then keeps fussing and bossing other people."
Yeah, sure. I guess certainly Spencer will make his way to the town hall with Eric's and to I suppose, get acquainted properly.
Okay. Eric, the Shire Reeve, sees you as you enter. He's a portly hobbit, and an elderly, but not an older hobbit, white-haired, and he's got white tufty hair on his feet, and he's wearing I can't remember those things. What are they called again? The suit thing, a vest. I can't think what they're called, but
It's a 3-piece suit.
yeah, the vest part. I can't think what. But anyways, he's wearing that vest thing, and he's sweating over something and looking at some documents with some bounders, and sees you as you enter, and he says, "You still have Dirk? What are you doing, walking around the Shire with Dirk? You can't do this. You can't just walk around the Shire with a dead hobbit." He just starts weeping.
I thought I was off to the other woman's place.
Oh, you guys split? I'm sorry. Oh,
That was my understanding, but hey,
okay. Okay, totally. That's fine. They're just carrying this dead hobbit around town. Okay. It's now kind of like early evening of the next day, by the way, that you've spent here in the Shire and making it back to the Shire. So anyways, these two enter, and Eric, the Shire Reeve, looks up from something that's bothering him. He says, "What are you two doing here again?" So it says this to Spencer and to Tharnlin.
Spencer will explain it quite the same as before. Here to figure out what's going on with the area and to try to alleviate the issues.
Oh, well, you should work with the others then. I've hired them. There will be pay. The best I can manage. Yes. But you're welcome to work with them if they'll have you. You see, there's a dragon. And it will probably break down the ancient walls that St. Brandon erected around the Shire and kill us all. And there's a fall festival, and it's been terrible this year. Our crops have failed. There's rumors of theft. They say that there's a dire badger that's been digging its way in and out from the farms. Oh,
You know why all these awful things are happening. I can tell you exactly why these awful things are happening.
Oh, please tell me.
No one's been taking care of the Church of St. Brandon.
What?
Yes.
What do you mean? You mean the old stone building at Brandon's house?
That is a church. That is a church to a
Oh.
very to a saint. A saint.
He looks side-eyed at like one of the other hobbits, like, it's big people things. Ugh.
You should be taking this seriously. Things are going quite terribly here.
Yes, they're going quite terribly. If you're good with a sword, I will pay you. And then there's the fairies and the goblin armies. There's something terrible going on out there. And the dwarves have stopped coming to trade with us.
Well, I will do my best to solve all of these problems for you.
Oh, good.
Is there anything more you need from me? Do I need to sign some paperwork somewhere to be sure that I'll be paid for my time?
Oh, paperwork. Yes, Rortrude is bound to find out that you're here. Oh, we do need to work on the paperwork. Well, very well, if you insist. And then, like, he leads you over to a table as if you're entering some dark dungeon, and then pulls out just like a massive stack of papers, like, and all kinds of stationery and things for both of you. And he's like, the certification process to operate here in Brandonsford is not Hobbit is.
Well, I'm a big person. I don't know these things. I'll sign my name once, and you'll handle the rest, won't you?
Incriminating.
Oh, let's see. Oh, nice. What's your charisma modifier? I'm sorry, I'll keep asking that. And
A minus one.
I got a 12 anyway. He looks over at the other bounders and he's like, looks back and he's like, "Now listen, I don't want you to think ill of me. I'm a good hobbit. I wouldn't just not do the proper paperwork and certifications. And then of course we've got the training courses that anyone coming to town, if you're going to be working for the Shire Reeves office, it's only proper that we go through this, you know. But then, well, there is a dragon, and that's quite bothersome. So, I'll do it if you can assure me that you can take care of these problems."
Absolutely. I've been trained in the big people city. I'll be fine.
Oh,
I can't believe this man is offering us training.
good. That's quite a relief. Ah, very well. I'll take care of these. You'll need these, and he hands you these little hobbit hats that don't fit, especially for you, Spencer. And then also a sash, which also doesn't fit. Like if you wore it, you would be like this the whole time. He's like, "Those are the badges of office. Our bounders wear them. And it'll keep Rortrud off of you. Be careful if you run into her. Or anyone from that club that she's a part of." They hand you the two sashes and the little tiny hats.
What's the club?
The dwarf is like, "Clubs? Where? Where did I get a club?"
Can I join the club? Is it like a clan?
Oh, yes. Well, there's all sorts of social clubs here in Brandonsford that you might take an interest in. But you need to speak with them because they're independent agents, and they don't answer to the town hall. They take quite a bit of pride, all except for those sorry lads, the do nothing lads. You don't want anything to do with those people. Now, I don't usually say something like this, but I'll go ahead and say I question how properly hobbitish those people are. Not being a part of a club. It's not right.
Never mind. The ones who are seen in here and everything.
What's that?
No, the ones not in the club are the ones seen in here and everything, you know.
Oh, yeah.
They're just sitting there. Yeah. They're observing.
Okay. All right.
Listening.
So he's agreed to do the paperwork, and you have your little hat that doesn't fit and your sash that doesn't fit. And you're now officially bounders, as well as the other big people that are here. Yeah. They're like deputies.
And Spencer will proudly wear his new badges of office as best as he can,
All right.
striding around town acting as though he has even more power over these little people.
You and Rortrud might actually be an unholy and evil alliance that arises. And you were afraid
Malicious
of a dragon.
compliance.
Little were you aware of the order of matronly good manners. Anyways, there are a bunch of hobbits that are outside talking and whispering and pointing and stuff as you all come out. I'm going to pan the camera over as it's getting close to evening time now on the second day, or fifth or sixth day or whatever it is for you now, Bashaw. You make it back to William's place, right? Is that the first place you go?
Which is closer? Like, I know it's a bad
The
idea to
Matham
bring
house would
him
be
with.
the closest one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll go to them first.
Okay, this is so weird that I don't have... Oh, here it is. Okay. So you make it to the Matham house. And William is you kind of asleep as you open it. He's like, "What? Where? I don't. Oh, you. Oh, and him. Oh, Dirk. Oh, what terrible thing befell you, Dirk? What happened?" He looks up to you, and Edward and Ben are here.
Evil magic.
Oh, yes. Well, that's just the sort of thing you big people would get caught up in. Evil magic and things.
Well, it was
very-
directly his fault.
Wait, what'd you say?
It said, well, our being caught in the situation was directly his fault.
Oh, I see. Well, he was a good hobbit. And a fine assistant. Oh, tragic loss. Did he find anything? Did he find the papers we needed?
He kind of stops and thinks, and then reaches into the bag and pulls out papers and kind of looks at them. He goes, "Are these them?"
Your hand's covered in goose poop and feathers, but and so are the papers.
Goose crap.
He's like, "Oh dear. Okay, well, yes. Oh, be careful with that vellum. It's very old." He gingerly carries it over to her and carries the big book, that sacred book again. He lays it down on a desk and opens the big book and takes the vellum, and he takes some spectacles and looks at it. You can see Nob comes out, and he's like, "Oh, Bashar, it's good to see you." And he bows because he thinks humans want that, and bows to Edward and to Ben. And William says, "Ah, yes, well, this is illuminating, really. I mean, really, the text is illuminated. It's quite lovely. It's I haven't seen anything like this in ages. And let's see." He takes the next 30 minutes or so to pour through it, and eventually he says, "Oh yes, you can set Dirk in the tea room. We'll need to bury him later."
Standing there awkwardly holding him.
A dead hobbit.
I bring him over to the tea room and I start making tea.
You just set the dead hobbit in a chair and then start making tea? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Edward, I think I could speak for Edward on this matter. Edward's like, "That's ghastly. I can't believe that you would treat...
The weekend at Bernie's.
I can't believe that you would treat the body of a good friend like that, Bashar. Why would you... We should give him a burial soon. It's already been the second day, for the Lord's sake."
Shaw just kind of stops, looks at him, goes, "You're probably right," and goes and picks him up and brings him outside and starts looking for a shovel.
And Edward turns to Ben and is like, "He's a very efficient man." And Ben's like, "Hey, we're still getting paid." And then Williams finally find a place to bury Dirk. There's a graveyard, so but we'll just say that happens anyway, that you find a place to put Dirk's body. And when you come back, William's like, "Ah, here it is. I see it. I can tell you, it's true. It turns out that Brandon, one of your big people heroes, he kept some of his relics in the it's in the Barrow Mound to the north." Yes. I don't know if that sword would slay the dragon, but it is part of the legend that is initially how the dragon was slain. However, it has come back to us now. The holy sword of Sir Brandon. It is said, Sir Brandon said, "All shadows shall yield to my light." It is said that Sir Brandon could not be yielded to deception or the dark arts so long as he yielded his holy blade. Ah, big people hooey. But we need to do something, I suppose. Well, you can keep this vellum if it's useful to you, but clean the goose poop out off of it. If you do survive and don't die like Dirk, I would like it back. In the Matham house, please.
Shaw nods and kind of looks at it, puts it back into the goose bag for now. And
Back in the goose bag. Excuse me. Knob is he's hovering over you or over your shoulder as you're doing all this, just looking in amazement at the pages you found.
Shaw kind of looks and assumes he's looking at the goose. Oh yes, this is Mildred.
Oh yeah, you still have the goose. The goose is like, and then squawks. And Knob, I'm gonna see if this goose is probably really malnourished and not happy, and I'm gonna see how it reacts to Knob and see. Let's see. Okay. Knob backs away from this giant goose.
Wise enough.
Yes, well, anyways, don't turn out like Dirk, if you can help it at all. But if you want that magic sword, if it's what it is, and there's big people things, like that, you'll have to travel to the Barrow Mound to the north.
Very good. And then he picks up Mildred and heads to Ingrid's place.
He goes into the tea room. You can hear him fussing as you leave, and he's like, "Can you believe that big person? He just put Dirk out behind the shed back there in a hole. Oh, Knob, you'll have to go get Dirk and put him in the graveyard and be proper." And Knob is like, "Ugh." And that's kind of what you hear when you leave. And I will pan the camera back to the human and the dwarf. As it's getting late now. What are you all doing? Excuse me.
Well, I suppose meet back up with my fellow party member who was away from the rest of the group, and I guess just sort of relay the information if anything new was heard from him, from our side of the experience over to him. Then ask what we'll be doing for our accommodations for the night. And you see Spencer's got like his hands on his hips and he's looking up, trying to look for a building that's like tall enough to match a human, but there's just the church. But he keeps looking past it as though it isn't supposed to be where we're going to hang out for the night.
Yeah, like of course you wouldn't do that, right? Yeah.
Shaw pulls up papers and says, "Well, this has given us a lead on a sword that we seek in order to slay the dragon. And we're staying there." And he kind of points over towards the building.
Covered paper.
Yeah, kind of brushes it off a bit, like just tries to get it off the vellum and.
He just flung poop toward that holy shrine.
Spencer will have missed that part because he's still got his hands on his hips looking past. Like he's looking very hard trying to find someplace else. He'll turn in eventually and snatch the vellum paper out of your hands and begin to read over it, and he'll have like a moment of realization, like, this is it. The sword of Sir Brandon. You know the tales. Sir Brandon wields his sword and the shadows yield before him. This belongs here at the church. That will fix these little people. That'll fix them. We can fix this church with the holy relic that belongs here. Everything will go back to the way it should be.
There are two NPCs that have been with you this whole time, Ben and Edward. I pointed out in the beginning. Edward says, "My good man, I think you take us the wrong way. You see, all of us are from very, very far away, more than you might even could possibly imagine. So I'm sorry to say that we're probably not familiar with your customs."
Great Scott, man, then you must be You must be shown how this stuff works.
Well,
The glory of a powerful blade.
we have legends of such blades where I come from. I don't know that I believe them all, but a proper Englishman should at least offer respect to such things, and I do. I'm of course interested in learning of your ways and customs and that which is holy here. I saw with my own eyes the holy book kept at the Matham House. It is something. It is the most beautiful thing I've seen since I've arrived in these lands. If you'll pardon me, I've not seen much outside Brandonsford.
And this is a dwarf. Is this a dwarf who's speaking?
This is a human man. There have been 2 other NPCs with you this whole time. I keep them quiet because these are player characters, and I would rather focus on you all. But in some cases, I think I know what they would probably say, so I offer that.
Okay. Spencer will definitely hear all this, process it. In general, though, I think I'm going to be playing Spencer as kind of like, he's definitely like a very shallow-minded kind of feller, and he just thinks to like push forward the only way that he knows how, I suppose. So the way he's looking at this is we see where we need to go and we need to go there.
Bashaw, you said you wanted to go see Ingrid about the goose?
Yeah.
Okay. The daylight has almost faded. It's almost entirely gone now. But before the day ends, it's not very far away. The whole place is probably about an acre. And you make it to the southeast side of Brandonsford, closer to the wall, where the apothecary is. And there's all sorts of cloves of bulbs, tubers, and things taken from the earth, flowers and stuff that's drying in racks and collected and hanging from the walls here. And it has a really strong smell. Yeah, you go up and you knock on the door or something to try to get Ingrid. Ingrid answers the door, and she's like, "Oh, hello there, my big sirs. And I don't think we've met." And she bows like ceremoniously toward the other human, because they all think that they're supposed to bow to humans, and she's like, "My name is Ingrid. Are you not well? Do you need something for an ailment or?"
I need your help in another matter.
At that, Mildred goes "Rah!" and squawks out of the bag, and Ingrid's like, "Oh dear!" And I'm actually going to see if we have a goose chase. We do not, thankfully. Ingrid backs away. You still have control of Mildred.
I kind of looks down. Yes, this one. We acquired this goose that I'm slowly beginning to think is a terrible curse. We do not know what to do with it, and we were hoping you would.
She mutters something. Everybody can make a listen at door check. Yeah.
Over the wrong one. Oh no. Oh, yep. There we go.
Did anybody other than Bashaw pass? No? No. Okay. All right. Bashaw, you can hear her mutter under her breath. She says, "Oh, no. He'll never love me. He already thinks I'm so strange." And she's like, I'm sorry, sir. I can't possibly help you with this matter. What you could possibly do with a goose that could be helpful to Brandonsford is take it over to the farm. They're low on meat. No offense to you. And she nods toward the goose, and the goose is like, "Rah!" And she's like, we really need all sorts of supplies in the farms right now. And then she looks over at at Tharnlin, and she says, "You don't look well, sir. Are you okay? You know, you're missing what 8 hit points, I think, or something like that."
Yeah, it's pretty well beat up out there. 8 out of it was 8. 2 plus 6. 8.
I have
Out of 20.
I have a compound that I could make for you. It could help you. I think I could help you with your wounds. It's not inexpensive though, sir. For 20 gold pieces, I think I could probably help these wounds though.
Reaches into the bag and hands her an egg. Will this do?
Yeah.
Oh, I said gold pieces. And you could do that, but she doesn't say gold pieces. I'm crazy. She says 200 silver pieces. And she's like, I know that's and then you reveal the egg, and she's like, oh gold. Oh dear. I can't possibly be seen with gold. I know it's a lot. Or I could help you a little bit with your wounds. I don't want to deny it, sir. If you had 100 silver pieces, I could also help you. It's a mandrake tea. But the ingredients are expensive and rare. She doesn't want a gold egg. The hobbits hate gold because they're afraid it's going to ruin their economy.
It's still 20 gold pieces of value. That's right.
You do have your brandy though.
I'm thinking about a trade item right there. You know. Well, this do.
And you don't. Of note, you heal 1 hit point per day naturally. So
more. No, it should. No, I know the rules. It should be take a 6-sided dice. You roll it, and it's 1 to 2 points.
No. It's 1 hit point per day, or if you have.
Is that right?
If you have someone who can assist with magic healing, you can get more.
Right, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Where's that?
It's a D30, but if you exceed your hit points by 10, you explode.
Like 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, I think it's per night. I'm just uninterrupted rest, just like, yeah.
I'm curious. I can't help it.
1 to 2 or 1 to 3, just with the 6-sided dice.
I think I have it on the end pages. Healing. I am wrong, and you are correct, sir. You are correct, sir. But you are right. It's
been
one.
A long time.
It's 1d3 hit points per day. But
1d3. So
that's if you don't do anything else for that day.
Right. You just go to sleep.
And then if you have magical healing available for a whole day, then you can heal completely. But there's
so basically, in about 4 to 5 days, all healed up.
So yeah, you could also just take the risk of not doing it. So.
Which means if you were like some high 20th level, 50 level, and you took a lot of damage, it's take you a long time to recoup that compared to somebody who's very junior.
Yeah.
Is that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that's
naturally would. Yeah. Anyways, I digress.
Nice. Yeah. Anyways, do you want to buy the mandrake root? She looks at the roll. She sees that. She licks her lips when she sees it, and she says, "I think I know something I could do with that. Sir, if you give me that, I'll give you a few samples of mandrake root tea. It will help with your wounds, and I'll also give you some bandages to bind them. And basically, it will give you, and you don't even have to use this. You can just keep it.
Okay.
It'll heal you D8 or 1 hit die of hit points every 4 hours, and you'll get 2.5
D8. Yeah.
So
every
D4,
2 hours, said.
Every 4 hours, and you can just hang on to this. You don't
it.
even have to use it if you want.
Right.
If you give her the.
And she wants the entire bottle, mate. She wants the entire bottle, more or less.
Yeah, she looks at it. She has this look in her eyes, like she wants to do something.
Only if I get a drink of this too, at the same time. As I can pour a drink. Yeah.
Very well, but
we'll drink to that.
Only 2 then. Only 2. You'll get 2 things of it. Okay.
Yeah.
She takes it and she pours you a drink, but she doesn't actually drink herself. And she looks at it and she puts it over in a corner. And You could make another listen at door check if you want. Yeah. But basically, she's suggesting you take the goose up to the farm. No? Okay. And you have 2 mandrake root tea samples now, and the bandages and other salves that go with it that will heal you 1d8 hit points over 4 hours of time, which you can use at any
One
time.
shot though, right?
You've got 2 of them.
I have 1 shot or 2 shots?
2 shots.
2 shots.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. But just for projection right here. That's the first. Oh, darn.
You
/
go
R, right? D8.
/R space 1d8, yeah.
Okay.
Do you take the goose to the farm?
Yeah, I am, but I'm just gonna go for goose feed. Like, be like, hey, I need some corn or something for this goose, because apparently
Nobody wants the goose.
nobody wants the goose, so we have a party mascot.
Do you tell the farmers that it lays golden eggs?
No, all the hobbits seem to freak out.
When the farmers see it, they're like, a goose? Oh, we'll take that off your hands, sir. That'd help us a great deal. We could cook that right up. And Mildred's like, ah!
This goose is very dangerous, and I don't believe you want this goose. However, I'm stuck with this goose due to a terrible curse.
This whole time you've just tried to get rid of the goose from the very beginning.
I need goose food.
That is very Bashaw. I need goose food. And they give you some goose food out of pity. And that's where we'll end tonight.